We live in a world filled with terrifying dangers, from devastating natural disasters to the deadliest man-made creations. The list of threats is endless, and each one seems more terrifying than the last. But amid all this, have you ever wondered what the most dangerous object on the planet is? We're not talking about something that could merely cause harm, but an entity so terrifying and lethal, it seems to have come straight out of a nightmare that surpasses even the darkest of fictions. What you are about to discover is not only real, but it also has the power to generate pure terror. This object is not just the most dangerous in the world, it is 100% lethal. Any living being that gets close enough will sign its death warrant with no chance of escape. It doesn't matter if you're human, animal, or even an imposing creature like a rhinoceros. If you enter its range, your fate is sealed. At 500 meters, you will have only 6 months to live. At 100 meters, you have just 7 days left. And if you look directly at it, you won't even see the next sunrise. This object is located in Ukraine, near the abandoned city of Pripyat, in the heart of Chernobyl. Hidden in the dark and gloomy remains of the Vladimir Ilyich Lenin nuclear power plant lies something so sinister that just mentioning it sends shivers down your spine. What you see in this photo is an apparently inert mass, but its history and the horror it holds are worthy of the worst nightmares. The person who took this picture, a worker equipped with an anti-radiation suit, died shortly after, as did many others who approached to document what humanity wishes it could forget. This man, like many others sent on suicide missions, was never warned of the true danger. Although he managed to approach thanks to his suit, it only gave him a few extra hours of life. But what exactly is this object, and how did it get here? On April 26, 1986, reactor number 4 at Chernobyl exploded in one of the worst nuclear disasters in history. The explosion was just the beginning. The radioactive components heated so much that they melted not only concrete and steel, but also the sand lining designed to contain the radiation. In a matter of seconds, a river of radioactive magma penetrated the security barriers, devouring everything in its path until it hit the ground. By then, the Soviet workers knew their fate was sealed. They decided to sacrifice what remained of their lives to try to contain the disaster and buy time for their families to escape Pripyat. This magma accumulated in a place now known as the Elephant's Foot. This grotesque and deadly mass is located in the plant's lower levels, emitting unimaginable levels of radiation. To understand the magnitude of its danger, radiation is measured in units called roentgens. Exposure to 50 roentgens requires special protection. 100 roentgens can cause hair loss, 300 roentgens is fatal, and a dose of 1,000 roentgens can kill you in minutes. And an elephant's foot, it emits 10,000 roentgens. Anything that gets close dies before even seeing it. Even today, decades later, the elephant's foot continues to wreak havoc. Even robots sent a photograph, it ended up destroyed by the radiation. Its mere existence has caused deformities in nearby animals and is responsible for the disappearance of any form of life around it. Without a doubt, it is the most dangerous and terrifying object on Earth. If you're wondering how these modern images were captured, the answer is simple: through robots equipped with cameras. But even these devices don't last long. The elephant's foot remains an invincible monster. In the first years following the disaster, scientists and engineers who entered the plant to study the area were forced to remain for very short periods, only a few minutes at a time. This was due to the fact that the longer they stayed inside, the greater the accumulated radiation dose, drastically reducing their life expectancy. Even with the advancement of technology, the area remains inaccessible to humans for extended periods. The level of radiation emitted by the elephant's foot is still high enough to penetrate protective materials and cause irreparable cellular damage within minutes. One of the most intriguing questions about the elephant's foot is how long it will remain a threat. Radiation decays over time, but in the case of this specific mass, it is predicted to remain dangerous for hundreds, perhaps thousands of years. Additionally, its material is still semi-liquid, meaning it could move to other areas of the plant over time, making containment even more challenging. For those thinking of visiting Chernobyl as a tourist attraction, it is important to understand that while certain areas around the exclusion zone are relatively safe for brief visits, proximity to the elephant's foot is strictly prohibited. Even with all the scientific advancements, it remains a reminder of the immense destructive power of nuclear technology when poorly managed. The elephant's foot is undoubtedly one of the greatest monstrosities created by humanity. Its lonely existence in the deepest levels of the Chernobyl plant serves as a monument to human error, greed, and the desperation of those who tried to contain what was already out of control. This object, made from a mixture of uranium, graphite, and other highly radioactive substances, will continue to emit its silent lethality for generations, like an immortal ghost that refuses to disappear. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and share it with your friends.